totally free and enjoy more of what the world has to offer in this action one, because this is where most human beings screw the pooch.
So a little one-person trampoline. Very,
I screen shared it. Like, there's no excuse. Like, phone numbers are just out there. You just got to pick up the phone, smile, and dial. So. Good morning, and welcome back to another episode of the Talk to Taryn Morning Show, where we go over tips, tricks, ideas, and exercises to help make you the absolute best entrepreneur you can be, not only for yourself, but for the people you love and care about most. Good morning, everyone. And we have one. I will not lie to you. I woke up super late today. So if I'm a little tripped up, humor me through, because we're talking about something that is very important to me, something I believe is very important to you, and something that can be the total difference in how society continues to compound in the right direction or the wrong direction. And we're talking about bad habits, talking about how to quit bad habits, and how there's simple and subliminal messaging we can give to ourselves, how we can investigate what is really going on with ourselves to make it easier to quit a bad habit. So bad habits, this will vary from person to person. Some people have bad habits that they would equate to that would be like sleeping in. Maybe you sleep in a little more often than you would like to, and that's a bad habit that you picked up. Or maybe you have a stronger one, an addiction, even with smoking cigarettes. Those cigarettes and those vapes, man, that I fell into the trap of that a year ago, and I'm very glad I'm over it and I'm over the top. But that was easily the hardest bad habit for me to quit. And so I'm going to use a little bit of the easy way approach to kind of describing how to quit things and how to change our mindset and our belief system when it comes to these types of habits. Or maybe you have an eating habit that is absolutely there. It's so common. So this guy named Brian Johnson, he's that billionaire who's spending millions of dollars to reverse his age. Pretty cool. I would check out his stuff. He's got a lot of good medical data on like supplement use, foods to eat. The dude's going all in, spending millions of dollars, and he's got great information. So I think that's called Project Blueprint. But yeah, he talked about a version of himself called 7 p.m. Brian. 7 p.m. Brian. I can relate to this. I was actually just talking with some of my family yesterday, and we were like, yeah, once it hits 7 p.m., something happens with your blood and your cravings and your hunger, and you just go bananas and you just eat a bunch of sugar, you eat a bunch of treats, you eat a bunch of snacks. I know we try to not buy ice cream as much, and then a cool alternative, and we'll talk about alternatives here in a little bit, but instead of eating ice cream, we eat these healthy cereals. So eating healthy cereal can be a good opportunity to transplant out maybe some of those donuts or ice cream or stuff, because I just can't express enough how terrible sugar is, specifically processed sugar. Fruit sugar's actually pretty good. But processed sugars from processed foods like donuts and ice cream and stuff like that it literally is killing you. And it's really not good. So, but either way, we're just trying to think of our own bad habits that are with us and the things that we want to do in order to change this. So the number one rule to this, and this episode is going to be pretty short. We're going to keep it straight to the point, because the goal will be for you to sit in your own seat and think of, what are my bad habits? What are my belief systems? And it's under the easy way. So let's go ahead and get a banner up. Easy way. So the easy way to quit anything is stop believing that this habit is giving you something. Something you want or need. If you can break this belief, I promise you, you will stop smoking cigarettes. you'll stop smoking vapes, you'll stop eating past 7 p.m. If you can truly believe this and embody this and understand this, this is what has totally changed my life. I've quit smoking. My six pack has gotten way tighter, been getting in really, really good shape lately. I don't eat nearly as much after bed. I've pretty much gotten rid of all the sugar in my life, and my fitness level is starting to really, really grow and peak up. I'm getting excited about it. And I think it's not even so much about the desire for me wanting to be try and get super like ripped or something versus just the bad things that were holding me back. So you thinking, what are the things that are holding you back, such as smoking a vape or smoking cigarettes? Because it's proven people who smoke cigarettes and smoke vapes don't exercise. The science is there. The smoking literally makes you not want to do anything when it comes to like physical exercise. I don't know anybody. I know hardly anyone who's ever done both. I don't know anyone who's ever done both consistently. So. But if we believe that smoking, if we believe that eating is giving us something that we want or we need, I'm telling you, you're fucked. You're done. You're going to be stuck in it because you're going to have to say no 1 billion times because you're not going to in the number one consumer market in the world, you're never going to get away from smoking. You're never going to get away from drinking. You're never going to get away from eating bad foods late at night. Those are probably the three big ones, right? We'll kind of stick with those for the rest of the time. Smoking, drinking alcohol, and eating unhealthy foods, sugary foods past a certain time of the day. And if we're continuously exposed to it and we have to keep fighting off the urges to want that because we believe that we want it. I believe that I want that donut. I believe that I want that cigarette. I believe if I smoke the cigarette or if I eat the donut, I will feel good, that it feels good, that it allows me to relax. And it's wild this is how drug addiction, and I'm really excited to continue to learn more about this and how this works, like with human psychology and how it works with myself, because I can't speak outside of personal experience or case studies with clients, but it's really interesting to where when I was first quitting smoking, I would go to parties, and this was the absolute worst. I would go to like a party or I go to a social event or something like that, and someone would start smoking right in front of me, and I could smell it, and I could see them like have what appeared to be having a good time. And I thought that I needed to have that in order to give myself permission to feel good. But really what we need to do is focus on this whole like 15-minute rule. So you consume something, you eat something, and if you don't feel better in 15 minutes afterwards, then it's bad for you and it's doing more harm than good. So after I would smoke the cigarette, I'd feel like dizzy and my stomach would hurt. My mouth would taste bad. But an hour later, then I would smell it again, and then I would crave it again. And I believe, oh, if I do this, then it'll give me another feeling. And one of the easy car examples that I liked was I like the smell of gasoline, but I don't carry it around with me in my pocket to just huff it and sniff it all the time. Just like this, I like the smell of cigarettes, but I'm not going to smoke them because I know what they're actually doing to me. And I think the science and the studies are out there that have proven that it's not actually, it's just a coping tool. So when you are having a really hard time dealing with it, or say if you're having a really hard time quitting with some of these habits, continue to ask yourself, continue to investigate, what do you actually want? and try to bring that answer to the top. If we can bring those answers up and out, because if I asked you, do you want to quit smoking? Do you want to quit eating? Do you want to quit drinking? And we just have to answer this question with 100% honesty. 100% honesty. Because you might not be ready, and that's okay. And beating the crap out of yourself is not a good way to go about it. If we can break this pattern, take a sledgehammer to it, to the belief that it is giving you something. So my first question usually is, do you want to quit? And then it would be, what do you believe this is giving you? What do you believe this is giving you? And then some people will say relaxation. Some people will say this. And then you got to ask, is that true? Is it true? Because medical science and medical data have continued to show time and time again, smoking cigarettes raises anxiety. Smoking cigarettes raises like our sense of urgency, and it makes it harder to relax, or it makes it harder to feel good in general. Same with like processed sugars and foods. People believe that if I get that instant mouth pleasure, I'm actually feeling better. But really what we're doing is spiking our blood sugar and riling up our emotions, making it impossible to relax, affecting our quality of sleep, and just breaking down a lot of things with our health in general. So really, I like to sit down, and I hope this was helpful, or I hope this wasn't too confusing, but this totally changed my life with a lot of bad habits. Is I started to really look at things as like what they truly are and what they do for me, and stop bullshitting myself about, oh, well, I mean, it's just one, or it's just a little bit. Because if we have to play the game of willpower, and if you have to play the game of willpower to say no one time, you still believe that that is giving you something, that you actually want it. And that's the first thing that we have to break. We have to come to an agreement that that's not even what you want, and that you see it for what it really is. You see cigarettes for something that tears up your skin, or it blackens your lungs, or it damages your teeth, or it makes you not want to exercise, or maybe with eating, you really see what it's doing to your body, and that it's just been manufactured to give you a false sense of belief. And that's what addiction really is. They make these products to make you addicted, so you buy more of them. That's how those bigger companies make a lot of money, because they bank off of the fact that once they get on it, they're not going to be strong enough to quit. No way. No chance. They actually believe it's helping them relax. They actually believe that this stuff makes them feel good. They actually believe that this is going to help them live a higher quality of life. We know that's not true. And if we can maybe take a 10,000-foot approach, or something that I always like to do is maybe the best friend tool. What advice would you give to your kid? What advice would you give to your best friend? So say if your best friend was addicted to smoking cigarettes, drinking alcohol, or good morning. Thanks for tuning into the show this morning. So say if your kid or your best friend is addicted to cigarettes, is addicted to food, eating past 7 p.m., or drinking alcohol more than 1 day a week. Really shouldn't be drinking alcohol more than 1 day a week, but that's my personal opinion, and everyone's got to find their balance with it. But just what would you say to them? What would you say to them? And every time people come up with answers like, oh yeah, I would, I probably wouldn't do this, and I would probably avoid that. Maybe you would find some alternatives, like a healthy, something healthy to replace it. And alternatives are nice for bad habits, but with alternatives, we still haven't broken the belief system that this is actually not good for us. So there's certain things that we as humans, we just don't do. And we just acknowledge them for being bad and we don't do them. In America, I don't drive on the left side of the road on a two-way street because that could kill me. And that's really dumb. And that's bad. Would it be exciting? Would I get a little bit of emotion riled up in my chest a little bit while I'm pounding on the gas? Yeah, sure. But then it could easily kill me. And so I don't do it. I think there's a number of examples that we could sit here and rant about and talk about that we just don't do as humans because they're bad for us. They'll kill us. And we have to take those beliefs in those extreme situations and we have to embody them into the machine of these other habits that are a little more slow killing. Alcohol will rot your brain. Seen it time and time again. People's brains go into mush from drinking too much alcohol every single day. Eating past 7 p.m., people becoming very overweight, people becoming diabetic, and smoking, people getting throat cancer, lung cancer, all of these types of cancers. Like it's there. The proof is there. And man, the smoking thing I relate with the most. So the alcohol, I was never really too hooked on alcohol, right? There was a point in times, sometimes during college or a couple times in the last couple years where I probably drank a little more than I'd like to, but I never had a real issue with that. And yeah, I eat sometimes late, but my metabolism is absolutely through the roof. And I'm pretty good about not eating sugars. But the vapes and the cigarettes, dude, holy crap. Nicotine, and I don't think nicotine's bad. I think you can actually, I would reference Andrew Huberman, if you know who that is, on YouTube. He has an episode on nicotine, and you can actually consume nicotine in like gum and these like little pouches and stuff, and it's not that bad for you. But the smoking, the inhalation in your lungs, because your lungs are so sensitive and it's such a mesh that we really should be careful of like what we're putting into our lungs in that way. And it does have a true effect on the quality of your air in that you breathe. So just think about what's most important, like with a lot of your functions or your survival needs, right? Drinking water, you can go what, 3-4 days without water. If you're at like a standard hydration level, you can go like a month without eating before dying. You can go like 3 minutes without breathing. It just shows how important breathing really is and the quality of breathing. Neti pots, those water things that you put in one nose and out the other and pour it out. Please use those. Those really help your air, like yourself, breathe through your nose and really open things up. Really should be breathing through your nose as much as possible. It's an amazing filtration system. It's got all the silicone stuff in it that catches bad stuff. It's like an air and heating. It's a cooling and heating conditioner to help like regulate the temperature of the air going in your body. It does a million amazing things. Your nose is very, very precious. Can't stress that enough. Anyone who can't breathe through their nose, tell me if they don't get sick all the time. I guarantee they do. It's a tragedy if you can't breathe through your nose. It really is. Anyway, but just really it shows the importance of breathing. And I struggled the worst with people who smoke. I struggled the worst with those vapes. More the vapes than the actual cigarettes. But man, those vapes, like the fruit ones and stuff, I thought they tasted delicious. They gave you like a little head rush and this and that. But then I just felt miserable. Like my motivation went down. I wasn't chasing my business goals. I wasn't chasing my fitness goals. I just felt like a little blob. Like I just felt lazy and just sunk in. And it's like, it sunk in. Is that what you want? Is that how you want to feel with this one shot that we call life? Hell no. That's not how I'm trying to feel. And cigarettes even worse. They just made me feel gross. And I forgive myself for falling into the trap, the fly trap of it, and that's okay. And if you are watching this and this is an addiction you suffer from, the first step is just awareness. And I would highly recommend talking to somebody about it. And doing these types of journeys on your own can be really brutal. I've met people who quit cold turkey. And then I've met people who have like horrible emotional breakdowns because these habits are so brutal and you're going to be fine if you quit. You'll be okay. Actually, you'll be a lot healthier. It's going to be a real bitch for a couple weeks, if not a month. And then to wrap this up, continue to challenge this thinking of, do you believe that this habit is actually giving you something? Is it actually giving you something? Because it's not relaxation and it's not good health. What is this giving you? Is it giving you permission? Is it giving you permission to be you? Is it giving you permission? Or is it just the fact that it is a literal drug that is super addicting? Sugar, alcohol, nicotine, whatever it is it just giving you permission to be who you are? And is that true? These are things that we can challenge. These are things that we can change. If you need help and support on this, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. I'd love to. I've worked with most of these addictions, and I think the easy way from is it David Carr, I believe, is one of the greatest books ever, and kind of reading through it and kind of just shatter those beliefs that these bad habits are actually giving you. And maybe we can make some changes to live happier, healthier lives. So try this out for yourself. Think of bad habits that you want to get. Maybe maybe it's even smaller. You're like, Tanner, geez, I'm not hooked on that kind of stuff. I just stay up too late, or I play too many video games. And again, ask yourself, is this giving you what you want? Is that actually what you want to do? You have to answer that first. So we answer, is this what I want? And then I answer, is this actually giving me what I want? And if the answers are no, then we need to make a change, or else I promise you will suffer and be in horrible pain. Those are the options, right? Because if you understand something's bad for you and you understand that it makes you feel like shit, and then you continue to do it, you're going to feel like shit. And it gets even worse when you raise the awareness about it. And then you're like, oh, wow, what the hell am I doing? I'm wasting years of my life. Years of my life. Those three addictions in particular kill people, millions of people, every single year. Why? Because they believe that it allows them to relax. They believe that it allows them to feel good. They believe that it allows them to be who they want to be. So if we can take a sledgehammer to that bullshit belief, and we continue to realize that doing healthy things and working towards our goals is what actually gives us life, gives us energy, gives us hope to inspire, and the dream to help others do the same. That's living is giving. Tony Robbins has it right. And I'm here to hopefully share my stories of some things I was addicted to and able to break those terrible habits. And now I feel I'm on the other side, and I can genuinely say I feel a million times better. I have more energy. I'm working out like a madman. I'm a lot healthier, and I'm a hell of a lot happier. And I hope you guys can try and implement the same. That's all I have for today. Cheers to you all. And in case you needed to hear it today, I love you. You got this. You're a rock star. And if there's absolutely anything I can do to you, please reach out to Talk to Tanner, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode, Friday morning, 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. Cheers, friends. I'm out. Peace. Oots.